it chapter by chapter, one bite at a time. So many adventures and mountains we can climb. Take it word for word, line by line, one bite at a time.
Welcome to Bite at a Time Books, where we read you your favorite classics one bite at a time. My name is Bree Carlile, and I love to read, and wanted to share my passion with listeners like you. If you want to know what's coming next and vote on upcoming books, sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com. You'll also find our new t-shirts in the shop, including podcast shirts and quote shirts from your favorite classic novels. Be sure to follow my show on your favorite podcast platform so you get all the new episodes. You can find most of our links in the show notes, but also our website, biteatatimebooks.com, includes all of the links for our show, including to our Patreon to support the show, and YouTube, where we have special behind the narration of the episodes. We're part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you'd also like to hear what inspired your favorite classic authors to write their novels, and what was going on in the world at the time, check out the Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please note, while we try to keep the text as close to the original as possible, some words have been changed to honor the marginalized communities who've identified the words as harmful, and to stay in alignment with Bite at a Time Books' brand values. Today we'll be continuing Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Chapter 8. The Emperor puts a question to the guide Lacoste. So on the morning of Waterloo, Napoleon was content. He was right. The plan of battle conceived by him was, as we have seen, really admirable. The battle once begun, its very various changes, the resistance of Hougomont, the tenacity of La Haye Sainte, the killing of Baudouin, the disabling of Foy, the unexpected wall against which Soy's brigade was shattered, Guilleminot's fatal heedlessness when he had neither petard nor powder sacks, the miring of the batteries, the 15 unescorted pieces overwhelmed in a hollow way by Uxbridge, the small effect of the bombs falling in the English lines, and their embedding themselves in the rain-soaked soil and only succeeding in producing volcanoes of mud, so that the canister was turned into a splash. The uselessness of Pierre's demonstration on Braine-l'Alleud. All that cavalry, 15 squadrons, almost exterminated. The right wing of the English badly alarmed. The left wing badly cut into. Ney's strange mistake in massing instead of echeloning the 4 divisions of the First Corps. Men delivered over to grapeshot. Arranged in ranks 27 deep and with a frontage of 200. The frightful holes made in these masses by the cannonballs, attacking columns disorganized. The side battery suddenly unmasked on their flank. Bourgois, Donzelot, and Duret compromised. Quiot repulsed. Lieutenant Vieux, that Hercules gradually at the Polytechnic School, wounded at the moment when he was beating in with an axe the door at La Haye Sainte, under the downright fire of the English barricade which barred the angle of the road from Genappe to Brussels. Marquinet's division, caught between the infantry and the cavalry, shot down at the very muzzle of the guns amid the grain by Best and Pack, put to the sword by Ponsonby. His battery of 7 pieces spiked, the Prince of Saxe-Weimar holding and guarding in spite of the Comte d'Erlon, both Frischermann and Smohain. The flag of the 105th taken, the flag of the 45th captured, that black Prussian hussar stopped by runners of the flying column of 300 light cavalry on the Scout, between Waver and Placenoy. The alarming things that had been said by prisoners. Grouchy's delay. 1,500 men killed in the orchard of Hougomont in less than an hour. 1,800 men overthrown in a still shorter time about La Haye Sainte. All these stormy incidents passing like clouds of battle before Napoleon had hardly troubled his gaze and had not overshadowed that face of imperial certainty. Napoleon was accustomed to gaze steadily at war. He never added up the heartrending details, cipher by cipher. Ciphers mattered little to him, provided that they furnished the total victory. He was not alarmed if the beginnings did go astray, since he thought himself the master and the possessor at the end. He knew how to wait, supposing himself to be out of the question, and he treated destiny as his equal. He seemed to say fate, "Thou wilt not dare." Composed half of light and half of shadow, Napoleon thought himself protected in good and tolerated in evil. He had, or thought that he had, a connivance. One might almost say a complicity of events in his favor, which was equivalent to the invulnerability of antiquity. Nevertheless, when one has Beresina, Leipzig, and Fontainebleau behind one, it seems as though one might distrust Waterloo. A mysterious frown becomes perceptible in the depths of the heavens. At the moment when Wellington retreated, Napoleon shuddered. He suddenly beheld the tableland of Mont Saint Jean cleared, and the van of the English army disappeared. It was rallying, but hiding itself. The Emperor half rose in his stirrups. The lightning of victory flashed from his eyes. Wellington, driven into a corner at the Forest of Soignes and destroyed. That was the definitive conquest of England by France. It was Crécy, Poitiers, Malplaquet, and Rémil's avenged. The man of Marengo was wiping out Agincourt. So the Emperor, meditating on this terrible turn of fortune, swept his glass for the last time over all the points of the field of battle. His guard, standing behind him with grounded arms, watched him from below with a sort of religion. He pondered. He examined the slopes, noted the declivities, scrutinized the clumps of trees, the square of rye, the path. He seemed to be counting each bush. He gazed with some intentness at the English barricades of the two highways, two large abattis of trees that on the road to Genappe above La Haye-Saint armed with two cannon, the only ones out of all the English artillery which commanded the extremity of the field of battle, and that on the road to Nivelles where gleamed the Dutch bayonets of Chazet's brigade. Near this barricade he observed the old chapel of St. Nicholas, painted white, which stands at the angle of the crossroad near Braine-l'Alleud. He bent down and spoke in a low voice to the guide Lacoste. The guide made a negative sign with his head, which was probably perfidious. The Emperor straightened himself up and fell to thinking. Wellington had drawn back. All that remained to do was to complete this retreat by crushing him. Napoleon turned round abruptly, dispatched an express at full speed to Paris to announce that the battle was won. Napoleon was one of those geniuses from whom thunder darts. He had just found his clap of thunder. He gave orders to Milhaud's cuirassiers to carry the tableland of Mont Saint Jean. Thank you for joining Bite at a Time Books today, while we read a bite of one of your favorite classics. Again, my name is Bree Carlile, and I hope you come back tomorrow for the next bite of Les Miserables. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com and check out the shop. You can check out the show notes or our website, biteatatimebooks.com, for the rest of the links for our show. We'd love to hear from you on social media as well.